Hi, this is Joe Schember with MohawkMakeReady.com, and I am here with Jennifer Matt. She is the writer on WhatTheyThink's web and print blog. Pretty popular blog, has a lot of expertise in the web to print realm. So we wanted to sit down and talk to her a little bit about kind of building a web strategy. You know, a lot of our audience is digital print, the digital printers, and they invest in a lot of technology, whether it's hardware or software, but sometimes they kind of skip the step of really building the strategy of what they're going to do with it. So would you have any tips for them in getting started in kind of looking at how do we build this strategy?
So what you want to do is come up with your strategy and then go look for vendors that can enable that. And so I just asked 3 really quick questions. I'm not talking about writing a novel, or a business plan, or I'm just saying, who are you targeting on the web? Are you targeting your existing customers, or are you trying to go after a different new market? What do you want to sell them? And because remember, web to print is self-service. So you can't just say, I'm getting a web to print system and I'm going to sell everything. Because every web to print system supports different products. Some of them don't support. Like if you want to do photo products, that's a definite different shopping environment for solutions versus, ad hoc print versus variable print. So you got to figure out who are you targeting, what do you want to sell them, and then what kind of relationship do you want with this vendor. So, people jump to what's the price, but what's the business model between you and the vendor? Do you want to do a subscription model where you're paying as you go? Or do you want to do a license model where you own the software and then you just pay a maintenance? So those are 3 questions you can just answer really quickly, and that'll make you way more prepared to move on to the next step to find technology to support that strategy. I think you're really right on some people jump into things before they think about strategy, and especially when it comes to technology. People think shopping is the first thing you should do. And then when I asked them, I said, you want to go start looking for technology providers. I'm like, but what are you looking for? And they're like, well, I'm just looking for what's out there. It's a very dangerous place to be, because when you go shopping first, then what you're doing is you're letting the vendor define your strategy. And the vendor strategy is biased by nature, right? The vendor strategy matches what their product does.
I think one of your past posts on the blog where you kind of talked about the difference between strategy and tactics, and how some people jump into just tactical, we're going to do this, this, and this, without necessarily kind of thinking ahead and kind of building that strategy first. So would you agree that your strategy is really where you need to start, and then your tactics really support that?
You made me just think of another blog post that'll happen, but
sneak preview.
Yes, it is. It is. So we're all more comfortable in the tactical. Most of us are more comfortable in the tactical because it's like I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I'm moving forward. I have this activity in front of me. Tactics and activity, right? We're all very active. We're all doing activity. Strategy is about what results you want to get to. Okay, so strategy is painting the picture of where you want to go. And if you start doing the activity before you've painted the end zone, right? If you want to use a football analogy, you're going like this instead of like, here's what the end zone looks like. And we want to march, and the tactics are every yard of increase, the activity it's comforting. We just want to fall back in it, and I think a lot of people are more comfortable there. And so I think that's the thing, is you have to stay up there long enough to define the results you want to attain, and then say, okay, these are the activities or the tactics we have to take to get there. It sounds like a nuance, but it's really important.
That's great. And thank you for your time. I think you had some great insight. I'm sure our audience will appreciate all the kind of practical information that you provided, and hope you have a good rest of D-Scoop.
Thank you, Joe.